think you're about to. I'm trying to be careful. I'm not hurt you, buddy. Get out there.
2 pounds, 2 ounces.
We started the day. I need right there, bud. Yeah.
1 pound, 15 ounces.
Get in the boat. I'm trying to get a penalty.
Shaking. 2 pounds, 0 ounces.
Sorry. 2 pounds, 0 ounces. All right, guys, my Built Bar break. It didn't go very good. I don't know. What place you think I'm in? I'm about 18th, I think. I'm only a few pounds out of 8th. I don't know, something's changed. The water's cleared up. I'm not happy with my crankbait. I'm cutting it off. We're gonna make a few adjustments, get me a new shaky head tied on, and we're gonna get after it this round. We're gonna make a comeback. You watch me. You watch me. I think a fish just got it. Yeah, it did. Got it snagged. It's a good one. I got him snagged in the tail. I think the fish was up shallow. That's good. In the boat. We're still in the game.
2 pounds, 11 ounces.
211.
Pound, 15 ounces.
Golly. I don't know how good hook I got in that fish. Oh, it's a big one. Get in here. Yes! Oh, dang it. Dang it. Dang it. It's so cool. I saw him running with my bait, and I couldn't catch up on acting.
4 pounds, 1 ounce.
4-1. We finally got us a. You sit down. I'll stand up, so it'll be shoot up. Yes, yes, yes. Whew. Let's give another old Built Bar update since I got a fish penalty. We've moved up. You know, earlier when I talked to you guys, I said, man, I need to get some dirty water. We got some dirty water. These fish are shallow. I've been fishing a little too deep. I went to 14-pound test, chartreuse crankbait, square bull. We're starting to get some bites, get it rolling a little bit, so, and I feel a lot better. Yeah, a lot better. I got a 4-pounder. You can give me 5 of it. We're on a penalty. Yeah, I got a 4-pounder.
Well, I looked up and saw the way the rod was bowed. I was like, that's a good fish. That's why I ran back.
I was bringing it in. I didn't know how I had him hooked. He was coming in the boat. Maybe.
And Edwin has a 114.
That's what I like hearing Mr. David say. Gosh, it's a good one. That's not. It's good if it weighs a pound 8.
Pound? 9 ounces.
Yes. It's a good one. Please stay on there. Please stay on there. Look at that.
2 pounds, 15 ounces.
215. Be a good one. Oh, it's a good one. We good?
Yeah. 2 pounds, 1 ounce.
That's a good one. Stay on there. Please stay on there. Please stay on there. I say it's a good one. Heck, I don't know. Yes, no?
110.
All right, guys, so we just finished round 2. Built Bar update. What flavor are we having? I've already had one today. We're gonna have another one though. Man, we are in 3rd place. We made a good period there. I got my favorite coconut brownie chunk. But man, I lost some fish there. A little frustrating with that. But we changed up to chartreuse. We got up in this dirtier water. Caught us a 4-pounder. And I'm just cranking these ledges, these ledgy points, looking for flat ones that's got to drop off. They seem to be hanging really tight to a sharp drop in like 4 to 6 feet of water. That's what's going on. I'm gonna get some stuff retied and hopefully keep going, man alive. One thing I always do, like, you know, when you start cranking a bait a bunch, you can see how this gets real rounded. I have to put a new bait on because it just doesn't deflect. It doesn't get as deep when you get to that point. You know, that bait's been through battle last few rounds, so we're gonna put a brand new one on. So when you look, you can see the difference in the bills, how much shorter the bill is from grinding on them rocks. There's one. Stay on there, fish. Oh, feels like a good one. Please stay on there. It's a good one. 2.5, huh? Please stay on there. That'll just be a bass. Oh, it is. Oh, yes. Thank you, active target. Golly, I saw that fish. I hopped it and she went down to it.
3 pounds, 0 ounces.
3-pounder, yes. That might be a keeper. Stay on her fish. It's a good one. Real good one. Come on, baby. Barely hooked. Oh. Got her. Yes, 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 yes. Well, I guess they'll bite the rattling one. I'm about to drop her. Don't step on my bait right there. Oh gosh, my fingers are caught. Okay.
3 pounds, 10 ounces.
310, that's a fatty. Maybe. Oh yeah. Coming in. That's all right. You're doing your job, man.
2 pounds, 4 ounces.
2, 4. There's one. That feels like a good one. Stay on there, fish. Stay on there. I don't know. Now he feels little. He's coming in hot. Oh, hold still, hold still, hold still.
£2, 6 ounces.
6. Made it to the championship round. Second place. Well, we all start at 0 tomorrow, so most of my damage has been done, you know, on a couple different crankbaits. This is a Fritz side. You can hear it's got a little clacker in it. Just got it on 12-pound Bass Pro fluorocarbon and a 7-foot medium heavy rod. I caught a lot of fish this week on a square bill crankbait too, and a shaky head. You know, just a max scent hit worm, but just covering water. So we'll go back to the house. We'll get everything retied and regrouped and get some rest, and we'll get out here tomorrow and get after it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Be a good championship round. I think the weather's going to change a little bit. probably means I might be able to tie me a spinnerbait on too. So I got a spinnerbait tied on, but I'll probably throw it a little bit more. Let's head to the house. All right, guys, so we made it back to the house. We made championship round. Obviously, we did not win. We had a 5th place finish. My big congratulations to Dustin Connell, man. You're on another planet. You know, I don't think any of us could have competed with you with what you had found, you know, there at the dam and the spillway and the current going through. You had like a fish factory 101 just at will. That's pretty impressive, you know. I got pretty frustrated as my day, you know, just to recap my day a little bit. Man, I started on a spot where I blistered them the day before, like caught 4 or 5 of them, kind of left them biting, didn't throw anything on the bottom. You know, like for me, I ran up, I kind of saw where Michael Neal was starting, and he was starting really close to where I had been starting the first 2 previous days. So I just kept running. I didn't want to, I don't know, I felt like maybe, you know, he was fishing that area. I wasn't going to fight over it. I'd only caught a couple there the day before. I caught a bunch there the first day. And so I was just going to keep running up the river. And man, I run all the way up to where I thought was the best spot, and I was going to just fish my way back down. Was kind of my plan, like do it backwards from the day before. I started here and worked my way up. I was just going to work my way back down. A couple things that you take from it, you know, my first round, it just was super slow, like hard to get traction. Like that score tracker was going off, it was going crazy, and man, I just couldn't get bit. And for the life of me, I thought with the conditions we had, the clouds, the wind, the rain, it was like cranking for me, like super special. But then outside looking in, I think back to events that I've had on spotted bass fisheries, and it always seems to me, and this is something like, if you take anything from this video, take this piece right here. When it gets cloudy, those fish get deeper, and I don't know why. They get deeper. Like when it's sunny, they get up, and I'm talking about spotted bass and spotted bass only. This may be true with largemouth too, but I don't feel like it is. It's not. It's just not even muddy the water. Spotted bass, when it gets cloudy, they get deeper. And a lot of times they go to the bottom, whatever depth that may be, they're gonna hug the bottom. So my first 3 rounds, I'm cranking a square build crankbait, the Berkeley Square Bull. And it dives like 5 to 6 feet. I'm not getting, like looking back at this event, I just wasn't getting deep enough. I tried a deeper diving crankbait a little bit that final day. Not enough, you know, and with the conditions, the clouds, the wind, the rain, I just thought, man, I have to run into them. So I started on a few of those points. I don't get any bites, and you know, I said I was going to run back down. I thought, nah, let's just run this pattern up a little bit more. I had 4 or 5 more spots, points that looked just like what I'd been keying in on. Let's run new water, because that's what I had done every day in the tournament up to this point. Ran new water, a new section of the lake. I would always just run a new section of the lake. And man, I go to run that new section, I still didn't get bit. I mean, I just wasn't even hardly getting little bites. And so it's just kind of frustrating. So I thought, well, let's run all the way back down and start running the clear water. Go back to where I caught them the first day, like just to back up, you know, the first day I started in Ryan Creek, fished a lot in Ryan Creek. That's the creek where takeoff was. Then I ran up that one river arm where I ended up fishing every day, and I just fished the lower section of it, the clearer water. The second day I ran up that river arm a little further, fished muddier water. The knockout round ran up a little further, fished even more muddier water. Well, I thought, well, let's go back to where I was the first day, because each one of those days as the tournament's progressing, I fished a little bit of that section that I fished the day before and wasn't having bites. And that's a great thing about Smith Lake, man, just being able to run a pattern, being able to just fish new sections of the lake every day. So I ran back down to the cleaner water, and I had figured out I was burning that square bull crankbait, and I had figured out that, man, I could burn that thing and catch some fish. So it was really exciting in that fact. And when you caught one in that clean water, man, it was a good one. Let me just look at the score tracker here and just see how that kind of transpired. You know, so the first fish catch, you know, it happened at like 8:23, You know, we had lines in at 7, so you guys watch this fish catch here, but it couldn't have come soon enough. He's a pounder. And then we finally put another fish on the board, you know, at 10:01 and another one at 10:20. You know, these fish catches right here that you're gonna watch, you know, it just, finally I started getting a few bites, figuring something out just a little bit. Happened. I lost the other one.
1 pound, 8 ounces.
Had 2 on there. Come on. You know, then right then, this fish catch right at noon, you know, I had a really good run there, like a few points in a row. I caught like a 309. He had that bait all the way choked. It was right when all that wind was blowing. You know, I'd lost a couple fish in there, and then I catch another one, and another one. You know, you guys watch these fish catches right here. I don't think all of that was. Look at that. I mean, just, yeah, nice. Crusty. 3 pounds, 9 ounces.
Pounds, 2 ounces. £1 8 ounces.
So things were starting to go really good for me at this point. I started running this clear water pattern. You know, I was burning this square bull crankbait, just trying to focus on those areas that the current hit, you know, and here's the next point that I get to right here.
4 ounces.
And as you can see, like here with this next fish catch, these are quality fish. I mean, they're not like just pound eighters, you know, they're good fat fish, and they were eating that crankbait.
Like that. 2 pounds, 7 ounces.
So then, as you can see from this fish catch, I've run all the way back up, got in that muddy water, and you know, man, I catch this one right at the boat, and I see another one with it. I turn around and just watch this right here.
18 pounds. Mostly straight. Almost a big one underneath it. I mean, a big one is right underneath it. 0, not 0, not ready, not ready. Ready. 1 pound, 10 ounces.
You'll notice as I catch that second one, I backed way off. Those fish were following that bait out off the drop, you know, and I caught that one and I saw that other one underneath it, and like 3 or 4 more casts, I feel like this is that fish I saw with it. Got that fish to eat.
Jordan Lee caught a 1 pound, 13 ounce. Pounds, 7 ounces.
So then I just jump up to the next point, and man, I got me a good heavy hitters fish. This one right here.
Yes. Four pounds, 10 ounces.
Gosh, that feels good. That's a good one right there. It's a heavy hitter's bass. Unfortunately, that was the last fish that I caught, but man, I guess positive, you know, I saved the biggest one of the week for my last fish. I really didn't have any other points that set up like those close. I needed to run about 2-3 miles, and I didn't have but 10 minutes left. I was wanting to try to get to that 4th place spot. You know, each spot is like I'm fishing as hard right now. As you guys watch this footage, I'm fishing as hard at the end of this day as I am at the first, because each point matters. You know, I've lost Angler of the Year in years past by a point or two. So I feel like every spot I can gain might make the difference at the end of the year. So don't, you know, I always worry about high school kids that I've boat officialed for, that they don't fish as hard at the end of the day as they do at the start of the day. And that's something you can't do in bass fishing, because, you know, every point matters, you know, and every cast matters. And I fish just as hard at the end. I just wish I'd had a better point closer to go to, because I didn't like this point that I ended my day on. Caught a couple short ones there. It just didn't happen there for me. But man, to do my power stop breakdown, to tell you guys, you know, all about the baits, I caught everything this week on a Berkeley square bull crankbait, the 5.5. I threw the ghost brown, the ghost red, and the mustard brown all week. That was like my setup. I had 14-pound test when I was in that dirtier water, when I felt those fish were shallower. I had 12-pound test on those ghost colors when I felt those fish were out just a little bit deeper. All of them were set up on a 6:8-to-1 gear ratio rod. In the early days, like the first day and the second day, I did catch a few fish and a couple really nice ones, you know, on a shaky head. You know, it was just one of those, you know, events that you just had to have a shaky head tied on. One cool, super cool fish catch, you guys will see in the knockout round. I actually saw that fish on my active target, and I tossed that shaky head out there in like 12, 15 foot of water. the fish didn't see it at first. I saw my bait go by and I hopped it up, and man, I just see that fish go whoop, and it just got heavy. It was a super cool fish catch. It was a 3-pounder. I'll never forget that one. But just all in all, a good week. I had that shaky head set up on a 7.4 medium heavy action rod, a platinum reel. I had it on 10-pound Bass Pro braid with a 10-pound leader. I was using a little bit bigger leader just because I was fishing windier conditions, dirtier water. You know, if I'd have been down in that clean, clear water, I'd had an 8-pound fluorocarbon. But that was my week. I was happy with all the adjustments I made. You know, I really felt like I was going to stay in that Ryan Creek the whole time. And I just, after that first day when I started in there, you know, I caught a few fish, but it just was not happening quick enough for me. Made good adjustments. That water changed drastically. That water dropped 4 or 5 feet throughout the week. I don't know. It came up like 7 or 8 feet right before we got there. So, you know, a lot to be taken from this video, you know, in this tournament, just for changing water conditions. Be fluid, be changing. Don't be locked into anything. Just fish what's in front of you and cover as much water as possible. You know, I'd say that's probably what separated me from, you know, not having it as a good event, is that I just fished as fast and as hard as I could. New water every day, focused on points. I was pretty locked into that. I didn't get sidetracked by other things. And, you know, it was a good event. I almost got sidetracked by them frogfish that you'll see, you know, in the second day. But, you know, when I tried to duplicate those frogfish, you know, I never landed any of them. I broke the first one off on the only brown frog I had. I had a black plopping frog, and I lost him when I went to swing him in. But you guys saw that footage prior. But I didn't get sidetracked by it. I thought I could make that work, but I tried for the next couple hours, and I didn't let it get me completely derailed. I kept to my guns, kept fishing those points, kept cranking what I had confidence in. And you'll see in a lake like that, there's a lot of different ways to catch them, because, you know, in the top 10, those guys, everybody was kind of doing different stuff. So that's one thing I love about lakes like that. Grand's a lake like that, Lake of the Ozarks is a lake like that, Smith Mountain or Smith Lake is a lake like that. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot to be taken from it, a lot to be learned. Man, the next event is Red Crest, so I'm super excited about it. There's going to be a Monster Expo. It'll be the 25th, 26th, 27th, right there in Tulsa. We're going to have a Edwin pecan booth, selling some merchandise there also. Nitro's going to have a booth there, Bass Pro, Lowrance. Lots of cool stuff going on there. Also, Bass Pro Shops is having their Spring Classic. They're bringing that out of the history books. That's coming up here in a week. Lots of us pros will be over at Bass Pro Shops in Springfield for that big Spring Classic. It'll be another really cool event. So a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe if you're a bass fisherman fan. So look forward to meeting some of you guys that are out there watching these videos. So see you guys next week. Appreciate you watching.